Hey guys, today I got a story about at one point in my life, I actually quit the mob. I wasn't made yet, of course. I was with the old man Tato, and I was married. My daughter was born, and my wife was telling me she would love for me to go legit, go straight, go to work, because now we have a kid. So I thought about it. I went to Tato and I told him, Tato, I talked to my parents. They have a home in Long Island. I'm thinking of moving there. My brother-in-law Eddie has a plumbing company out there. He'll give me a job. My wife is always worried. I'm always in trouble. I'm finally out of trouble. I think maybe it's time for me to quit and walk away. Tato was very gracious. He said, Sammy, I think the world of you. I really got to like you a lot. To me, you're like a son. And I think maybe you're making the right move. I really think you're cut out for the life, but if you want to walk away, you're always with me. I'll always help you. Whatever it is, stay close, stay friendly, go away and change your life. Any trouble, I'm always here for you. So I went to Long Island. My parents had a home out there with an attic, a big attic. And we fixed the attic up into an apartment, put some wallpaper up, changed some walls, put a new bathroom in. And that was it. I moved. I went to work for my brother-in-law Eddie in his plumbing company. And I was working all kinds of hours. I was broke, but I wasn't making a lot of money with him. Matter of fact, I don't remember the exact salary, but it was like 200 and change a week. Going back then, salaries weren't big, but this one was low. It was like 2.25, 230, something like that in that area. And I worked for a while for him, and eventually my wife got pregnant again. I had a little baby girl, Karen, and we were doing fine. We were doing a whole bunch of things. My sister wanted to sell jelly apples. Her father-in-law had a recipe how to make them. They were called candy apples. Real crusty thing around them. They were delicious. We set up a thing and we were making them and selling them on the side to make a few extra bucks. I didn't even have a car for that period of time. Everything was going fine, but I really wasn't making enough money. So I went to my brother-in-law and I asked him if I could get a raise. I was working all kinds of hours. That's the only way I made a little extra money. I would work overtime with him. So he said, okay, I'll talk to my brother-in-law, Dominic, and I'll see what we can do. He came back to me and said, right now, times are tough, but I could give you 10 cents an hour. 10 cents an hour. I was extremely offended. I would have rather him say, we just don't have enough to raise you at this time, but down the road a little bit, I'll give you a raise. 10 cents an hour was like a slap in the face. I got real mad at him. And I left. I stopped working for him. Unbeknownst to me, my wife called up her Uncle Danny, Irish guy, who's a carpenter. He worked in the city. He was a union guy. And he did part-time work in Long Island for this contractor. When my wife talked to him, he called the contractor and got this carpentry company, and they wanted to hire me. When my wife told me about it, I was extremely mad. Why would you do that? Why would you ask other people for me? But I went down and I talked to him. The guy hired me. I would take my father, and he would drive me there to work and leave me there. And I went to work for him. I worked like an animal. My hands were all blistered, but I kept working. He was going to give me $275 a week. So it was more money than I was making. I appreciated what her Uncle Danny did. I calmed down a little bit, and I worked hard. I worked one week, and I would push up these plywood sheets to the guy on the roof so they could put it on the roofing and do the roofing and stuff like that, and I would nail. And a week went by, and this guy, his name was Mike Perry, and he gave me a paycheck. In those days, it was cash. He didn't even give me a check. It was cash. And he gave me $350. So when I looked in the envelope and counted it, I thought he made a mistake. Maybe it was somebody else's pay. And I told him. He said, no. I like the way you try, you work. You'll earn your keep soon enough. But I'm going to start you with $350 a week. I really liked that. Of course, anybody would. The only thing I didn't like about Mike Perry is that he was an alcoholic. If we went for lunch, we would go in a bar type of restaurant, eat some sandwiches, and he would drink and get drunk. And he didn't want to leave no more. He didn't want to go back to work. So I said, well, I'm going to go home. He said, no, just stay with me. I'll pay you the whole day's pay. Don't worry about it. I did it for a while, but I didn't like it. Eventually, we argued about it. I stayed there quite a while, months and months. One day, we went to the lunch, we went to the bar, and we were eating, and he got drunk again. And he didn't want to leave. So I said, listen, I'm disgusted. I want to come to work. I don't drink. I don't want to sit here, watch you slobbering all over any stuff. That must have offended him. And he threw a fucking slap, not a punch, but like a slap. Caught me on the side of the head. And I went off. I hit him blows. I knocked him to the fucking ground. And then I put my hands around his neck and I was fucking choking him. Bartender, people in the bar were grabbing me. They couldn't get me off him. He just about passed out when they finally got my hands off his neck. So that's the end of working as a carpenter. I'm done. I got to go back and do something else. Crazy as this sounds, this candy apple business was starting to grow. We went to a couple of stores and gave them a dozen. They wanted more, they would call us up and we would give them more. And we started making money doing it. It was in my father's garage. We didn't even have a store. We had no health permits. We had nothing. My sister made an appointment, and it was like a five and dime type of store, but it was a big store and they sold everything, and you can go there to eat hamburgers and drink soda. You could buy clothes. You could do all kinds of things. We went in there and my sister gave him a dozen candy apples and gave him this whole story of how good they are and all this bullshit. So he put them on the counter. He says, if I sell them, I'll give you the money. If I don't sell them, take them back. And one day, we got a call again to come back, and he wanted different kinds of candy apples. Coconut covered, caramel covered, different kinds of apples. And he wanted a dozen of each. And we brought it to him. The week after that, he doubled the orders. Then he called us up to come in. We went in, and he had people there. He brought the apple, he cut it in half. It was beautiful on the inside, it was covered. He cut little pieces, they were eating it, they already tasted it. They had a chain of stores all across the country. He wanted us to make apples that he would send to all the stores, the chain. The chain managers and all these people were there. They loved them, and they sold. No sooner than you put them on the counter, once people started eating them, they were gone. So I said, that's great. We could do that. We can't deliver. I mean, we could deliver it to you. Yeah, we'll take care of delivering and everything like that. So I said, how much do you want to start with? And what kind do you want? Well, I want an assortment. And we'll start with 500 dozen and bring it to, as soon as we get geared, 1,000 dozen. I left there with my sister and I said, 1,000 dozen? Where are we even going to get these apples from? We're going to have to go to farms and ship it in with stuff. We don't have health permits. We're working out of a garage. Mommy and Daddy are sticking the thing in the apple. I mean, we don't even have anybody working for us. We can't do this. It was one of the first times that I went in business in my life that I failed because of success. I couldn't handle it. There's no way I could have made these apples. So we decided that we were going to stop. My sister talked to people. She tried to sell the business, give them the recipe. And the best part of it is you could only make, when you would cook the syrup, only a dozen at a time. If you cooked too much of the syrup, it didn't come out the same way. So you were locked into what you could do. I quit. I wasn't working. My wife was pregnant. And so things were going good in a sense. This legitimate life, I didn't know if it was for me, but I was really trying to please my wife. I had a kid. My wife was pregnant again. And one day I got a call from my Gravano Allie Boy. And I called him back. Hey, Gumba, what's up? He said, Sammy, you got to come in. It's very important. I figured he's got a score or something he wants to rob. So I told him, Gumba, bro, I quit. Come on. I'm not going to do it no more. No. Sammy, come in. I got a problem. We have a problem. We have a problem? Yeah. Want me to come in with my friend? No. You don't even need that.